crash? Is that, you know, specifically?
Yeah, Gabriel Sterling just talked about that, and we want to do the deep dive again on that one, Gabriel. But at the end of the day, it was a data set, and it gets back to an issue there. And at the end of the election, we'll be able to really do a review of what exactly happened. But they're now out there voting, and they have been voting. It's just, you know, one of those situations that arise. It gets back to training.
That had that crash?
Pardon me?
Why would it be just that county that had that crash?
Well, it is what it is.
Yes.
Okay, let me step in this one. The quick answer is, we don't know. It was Morgan and Spalding that had the crash. Again, we think it was data set. Our focus right now is to keep voters voting, so that's what we've been focusing all of our energies on. As I said before, 4 of the 7 precincts in Morgan are back up to regular order, and 8 of the 18 in Spalding are back to regular order, but every polling location has voters voting right now.
Are y'all going to extend hours for those locations, or any adjustments being made for those?
That's not our decision. That the counties will think about that themselves.
So clearly there'll be some kind of investigation to figure out.
Absolutely, we're going to find out why it happened so we can make sure it doesn't happen again.
Speaking of late openings, one of the problems with the June primary were counties that didn't open on time, which caused delays. So far, I think as far as I know, only Houston County has a poll that's going to be open later than 7. Can you talk about the opening procedures and how maybe that's been improved since the June primary that's led to smoother operating?
Oh. Well, that gets back to really, we emphasized and re-emphasized several times that it was very important that you have to be ready to go at 7 o'clock. So that means we want you to bring out your equipment the day before, have it set up, do a drive run, make sure everything is connected, you have all the equipment you need. And we're seeing the results of that today. So it really got back to just really emphasizing that and then making everyone do a drive run.
What grade you guys give yourself during this process? I mean, I know there's some room for improvement, but what grade do you give yourself, the state give yourself?
I don't grade myself. I let the voters do that.
As for just one more thing on the tech issues, there were technicians, about almost 2,000 hired, but I heard that, like in Morgan and Spalding County, the technicians weren't necessarily located right there. Can you explain where the technicians were and why they weren't available?
Yeah. Well, the main thing was there are technicians available, but this was outside of their realm of ability to fix. So we had technicians on the ground in both Morgan and Spalding County, and even the county level techs, when it comes to a data set issue, that's not something they can quickly, as we talked about before, press a power button, flip an encoder. This was a deeper thing that had to be figured out, and it required additional equipment, which we had delivered to those counties.
Has Georgia had any malware or cybersecurity issues today?
No.
As far as election results go, some of the big counties have already processed their absentees because of the 2 weeks extra time they've had. Everyone's going to want to know at 7:01, start refreshing to figure out who won in Georgia. So what should people expect tonight as far as election results coming out in Georgia, and where can they find it?
Well, it won't be, we won't have results at 7:01, but you will have them over the course of the evening. And to that point, the counties have done an excellent job of making sure that they scanned those absentee ballots, and so they were really current to up until election day, and then the ones that come in today that are going to be in the drop boxes, so they'll be scanning those today. But we'll be having results tonight for many of the races. It could actually be some of those state rep races or state, senator races where the delta is really only like 50 votes or 150 votes, and yet there's still 200 absentee votes. That could be, what's throwing it out. But we'll have those results much sooner than many of the states that you're going to see.
And where will people find the results?
That'll be on ENR, on the sos.ga.gov election night reporting.
And let me add one thing to this. He's right on the absentee ballots that are scanned in. And historically, we have, all the DREs had their memory cards. Now we have a scanner with memory card. But the loading of those multiple DRE memory cards was easier because it was just results. Now we have the actual ballot scans that have to get loaded into the election management system. So that will take a little bit longer. And also we can't get the advanced voting ones going until they close the election out. So there's going to be the same thing. The advanced voting has not been loaded into the EMS. So we're going to have some of those come in. And the irony of that is you may get the early absentee voting, as the secretary pointed out, faster than the other ones, but it's up to the counties as to how they want to release those election night results.
Could statewide results go well into Wednesday and late Wednesday, maybe Thursday?
It really depends on what is the difference of the vote and then the extent of absentee ballots. So we'll get that out as soon as we can. We know how important it is.